I feel at the 135 will probably be Gervonta Tank Davis.
Mm-hmm.
But the most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevens.
I feel it at the 135 will probably be Gervonta Tank Davis. But the most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevens. Floyd Mayweather has just taken brutal shots at Von Davis on live. Moreover, Floyd is set to make his return to the ring this summer in a rematch against John Gotti, the grandson of the infamous late mob boss. Alongside the bout poster, Floyd posted a message on Instagram saying, "You and have finished business." August 24th, Mayweather views Gotti the third rematch in Mexico City. This is something you don't want to miss. When the 47-year-old met Gia third for the first time in June 2023, the bout ended in mayhem as a riot broke out as spectators flooded the ring they were originally scheduled to meet again on Super Bowl weekend in Las Vegas. However, the fight will now take place in Mexico on August 24th. In addition to this, Floyd recently weighed in on the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. At first, he refrained from criticizing the fight. The five-weight world champion even defended both Paul and Tyson, commending the YouTuber for his innovative approach. Floyd said what he's doing against Mike Tyson is kind of cool if he can continue to steal money. And they match him the way they match him. I can't knock his hustle, considering that Tyson postponed the fight for 4 months due to a stomach ulcer. Paul's ability to market the event has been remarkable. In discussing his strategies before a previous bout, the influencer encouraged professional fighters to actively promote themselves to achieve similar financial success. He said, "We live in a different boxing world now, in a different digital age in general. And it's the fighter's responsibility now to promote themselves. And once they realize that and realize instead of sitting around on the weekend and playing video games in between the training sessions, they have to be on TikTok and making YouTube videos, just hustle." On the other hand, we know that Mayweather is celebrated for his unparalleled defensive prowess and holds the record as the most precise puncher in the CompuBox era. The multiple world champion had a ton of excellent opponents, and great opponents are necessary for greatness. When it comes to the toughest opponent he's ever encountered, money refers to none other than his rival in the battle for greatness, Manny Pacquiao. He elaborated on this during his appearance on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. He said, "The best fighter I ever fought probably was Manny Pacquiao. It's because of his movement. He's a hell of a fighter. And I can see why he won so many fights. And I can see why he's going down as a Hall of Famer. It's just certain moves he makes. Fans won't be shocked to hear this, as the Filipino sensation is destined to be remembered as one of the all-time greats in boxing history. Paco, a world champion across an unprecedented 8-weight divisions, achieved 13 world title victories and successfully defended his title 10 times. No other fighter has come close to matching these remarkable feats. It's widely acknowledged that Paco was beyond his prime during his 2015 clash with Mayweather. This added to the frustration, as the bout would have been monumental if it had occurred when initially proposed in 2009. The American fighter's meticulously honed defense was the highlight of the match, leading him to secure a unanimous victory in Las Vegas. Meanwhile, Floyd recently talked about the best fighters in the current era. Given his position, he holds valuable insights on the subject and was recently approached by Boxing Maine to share his perspective on who currently reigns as the pound-for-pound king. He highlighted a few names that he believes are near the summit. Question: right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world? At one particular time, I did talk about I did say Terence Crawford. Okay, yeah. But what are we rating these fighters on? To what are we rating these fighters on? Floyd Mayweather's eyeball test. I look at it like this: Tank did the same thing Terence Crawford did to Gambo, so now you have to know it. Gambo was much younger at the time, but guess what? There's a difference, because Terence Crawford is a much bigger fighter than Chase, than Gervonta. Moreover, Floyd mentioned that Tank Dave could be considered among the top 10 pound-for-pound fighters, emphasizing that Davis should be included somewhere in that ranking. He also acknowledged Canelo's remarkable achievement of moving up to light heavyweight and becoming the champion, something Floyd hadn't anticipated Canelo would accomplish. Ultimately, Floyd decided to place Terence Crawford at the top of his pound-for-pound list, considering him the #1 fighter. At that moment, we can put Tank up there in the top 10 in Pona-Pound. He has to be somewhere in Pona-Pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as #1 since handily defeating Errol Spence. In July of last year, Crawford has not engaged in combat. He now holds the 4 major welterweight championships. As a result of that victory, the following bout on August 3rd, he plans to try his hand at 154. Israel Mov will be his opponent at the new weight. If he manages to overcome that challenge, there's a strong desire among fans to witness him square off against Saul Canelo Alvarez. While the weight gap between these two titans could pose a significant obstacle, it remains a potential path for him to solidify his position as the undisputed pound-for-pound champion. We know that Gervonta reaffirmed his status as a boxing luminary with a decisive 8th-round knockout victory over Frank Martin. This commanding performance silenced any lingering doubts among critics who had questioned his form following a year-long absence. Davis appears steadfast in his commitment to the lightweight division, showing no inclination to move up in weight. His immediate plans likely include pursuing title unification at 135 ounces with an eye towards achieving undisputed champion status, as the ultimate objective. Among the remaining champions in his weight class are Vasyl Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson, and Dennis Barrick. In the realm of potential opponents for Tank, one name continues to gain traction: Vasyl Lomachenko, the esteemed 2-time Olympic gold medalist and boxing virtuoso. While the bout remains in the negotiation phase, enthusiasts speculate fervently on its potential outcome. Will Lomachenko succumb, like so many before him, to Davis's relentless aggression? Or could the Ukrainian maestro defy expectations, closing his illustrious career with a monumental victory? Amidst these ponderings, insights from those who have shared the ring with both champions become invaluable. Recently, Fight Hype seized the chance to interview Robert Merriweather, i.e., a sparring partner of Gervonta Davis, offering a unique perspective on the matter. The journalist questioned Merriweather, "So they're talking about Von versus Lomachenko. I mean, obviously you've been in the ring with Tank. Is Lomachenko a tougher fight?" He openly acknowledged the formidable skills of Vasyl Lomachenko in the ring. Merriweather speculated that despite facing formidable opponents in the past, there was a possibility that Gervonta Davis could rise above them in resilience. Nonetheless, he remained steadfast in his choice of Davis for the victory. What led him to this conclusion? "I mean, there's a lot of things that you still haven't seen," suggested Robert Merriweather. He further added, "Vanna has the IQ, like people don't see that he has IQ in the ring. It's not just a power punch. And he's not going to go out there and just throw everything. It's not like that. He sets up his shots. And he knows when to throw, where to throw it. And he's quick, he's fast." Therefore, the Baltimore native appears poised to claim victory. However, the 19-year-old rising star harbors reservations. He believes that, unlike his previous bout with Frank Martin, his upcoming clash against Lomachenko could extend beyond the norm. This skepticism stems from Davis's reputation as a slow starter, potentially taking it easy in the initial rounds. Compounding this issue, Merriweather points out that the Matrix employs a similar strategy in his fights. "So we'll see when it comes up," he concluded. Certainly, the Davis-Loma duo holds promise for a substantial payday. For many observers, it evokes memories of the legendary 1982 clash between Aaron the Eagle Pryor and the esteemed Alexis Arguello. When it comes to Gervonta Davis, One thing stands out clearly: his dominance in power, with an impressive track record of finishing nearly 93% of his fights with knockouts. He has established himself as a force to be reckoned with in the ring. On the opposing side stands a seasoned 36-year-old veteran, known more for his strategic prowess than his knockout record of 12 wins. This cunning Ukrainian may boast a superior amateur background, but when it comes to the bright lights and substantial purses of professional boxing, Davis reigns supreme. Explaining the difference, Stephen S. Smith recently said Lomachenko is a brilliant tactician and a brilliant boxer whose footwork is magnificent, very experienced, etc. Of my issue with Lomachenko is that I don't know if Lomachenko has the power to stop Von Davis, which means that we'd basically be watching the fight to see if he will outbox Von, or if he'll survive. In essence, LMA could potentially extend the fight against Tank by evading traps and avoiding the ropes. However, this strategy may not hold indefinitely, considering he's not the same prime Lomachenko anymore. With his tendency to move around the ring, there's a risk of him tiring out over time. Therefore, the Olympic medalist must strategize with his team moving forward. Meanwhile, Tank's co.